Come on in, everybody. Greetings to you all, and a happy hump day to you. Bear with me while I set things up here. Instead of putting this microphone wrapped around my neck, because, like I said before, I hate having things. I don't like ties. I don't like shirts buttoned up. Every time I get a new t-shirt, I'm tugging at the collar because I feel like it's too tight. But anyway, no room for complaints today. Happy hump day to each and every one of you. And thanks again for subscribing to my channel. And just bear with me. I'm still working on my settings. And it looks like everything is going well. I hope everything's going well for you all. Looks like for the first time since I've been off work, I actually have a day to where I have absolutely nothing scheduled. And I'm so glad that it's like I've been ripping and running every day from one doctor to the next. Yesterday, like I said, went from a doctor to immediately providing aid to a friend. And although I got back home relatively early, I just realized, been out for a while now, but I have spent each and every day just ripping and running, doing things. And when I was asked to take leave, my whole plan was to rest and take in as much relaxation as I possibly could, which I have for the most part, in the afternoons. But today, I'm not stepping foot outside the door. I'm staying in. I am not taking any phone calls today. If anybody texts me, I will respond and just say it's my day, and which means I just really don't. They're not bothering me, but I just want a peaceful day with absolutely as little contact as possible. And that's my intention for today. So if you're on and you're already in and you're already watching this video, just give me a simple hello or greeting, a thumbs up or anything to let me know that you're watching, because I did realize, and I said this the other day, the count that is showing currently is not as accurate as the number of people that are actually watching. I don't know why that is. But it can be kind of discouraging, because when I look at it, sometimes they say that there's 2 people, but there's other times it's 40. So I don't look at it as being discouraging. As long as I see a number, I don't care how small it is. If it shows me 2 people, I already know it's more than 2, so I can start on whatever I want to talk about. And the thing about going live, I did some research on everybody's talking about when they go live, they'll go ahead and set the camera up for live. And they won't really get started until they get a set number. And a lot of people feel like, well, if I don't get at least 10 people watching, it's not worth my time. But we can't say that for sure. I think 10 is a great start, because out of those 10, 3 or 4 might share your video, and you may gain more subscribers that way. Absolutely believe that. When I was working with my DJI camera last night, and I shot some old video footage. So I was messing around with the clarity of it and getting used to the camera, because I haven't sat down with all this time off. I haven't sat down and really played with that camera. And I went out last night and shot some night scenes, and they came out absolutely beautiful. So I'll probably do some night scenes coming up real soon. Now I've got the camera set better than out of the box conditions. Good morning, someone, and Cobra King. I'm coming to you from the great state of Georgia. For me, every state is a great state. So, but I don't really, give too much personal information on myself. I was born in Georgia. I plan on staying in Georgia the rest of my life. I'll never say I'll never leave, but you never know what might happen. But I interviewed for a job once that was out of the state, and just so happened it was going to be in Houston, Texas. And only reason why I did not take that job, they wasn't paying me enough money, and they wasn't giving enough money as far as relocating. And this was several years ago, of course. And so I didn't take the job. It wasn't 2 months later they had a major hurricane come through there. Now imagine me moving Atlanta, Georgia, and setting up in a place like Houston. And then I'm not saying this because there's something against Houston. I'm not that type of person to talk like that. But setting up, finally feel like you got everything in order, then some major hurricane come through and wipe out everything. And part of the area where they were suggesting that I could find housing when I went on my interview, which was relatively 3-4 miles from the office, it was damaged quite a bit. Yeah, here in Georgia, in Atlanta, we deal with a lot of tornadoes, we deal with a lot of things, but now we have all these advanced warnings. Unless you're under a rock and you're a dead weight sleeper, you could hear the alarms when they come through. But I have sat through 2 hurricanes and many tornadoes. I sat through a hurricane in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I had time to leave, but I decided to stay because I was like, man, I'm fascinated. I want to see it. So that was the whole thing. Well, greetings from Detroit, all the way from Detroit, someone. And like I say to a lot of y'all, I'm sorry, I'm still adjusting this camera. Y'all bear with me. So, y'all know, those of you that's been watching me, I don't do fancy editing. Even my recorded videos, I may drop a please like, comment, subscribe, all those little trinkets in there. But as long as I feel like the setting is right. But it's just a quick note to someone who, and that's your name, someone. When I'm on here and I'm doing live, I very rarely read a lot of the comments. It's not because I'm ignoring you all, but if I stop and I read each and every comment, you're looking at me live with dead air, So whereas I know you probably have a lot to say, you can also post your comments in reference towards the group and allow the group to interact with you. But if I stop and read each and every comment that you have coming through, it's going to really take away from me talking. And believe it or not, whereas I might think you are wanting to be the center of attention, there may be 5 people that are actually watching this. There may be 50 people that are watching this. And stopping to read each and every comment, those 5 or those 50 will sooner or later leave the group. So let's just be respectful and mindful of others that are on here. And oh, by the way, whenever I take my glasses off, y'all can send whatever comment y'all want to, because I cannot even see them right now. So feel free. Let the others read your comments. Let the others get the laughter in and all those things, because I can't see them no way. I do leave the comments on when I go live, because there are some people that actually just generally want to say good morning, good afternoon, or whatever. But that constant roll, brother, sister, whoever you may be, let them go. Everybody else can read them. Everybody else can read them. I can't see them right now. It's a blur to me. So I just want you to know that if you're trying to come out or come some kind of way, and if it's directed towards me, you're wasting your time basically right now. So that's what I want to say about that. And that's to each and everybody that's watching my videos. When I take my glasses off, I'm not reading comments. Even though I leave the comments on, I leave them on because a lot of times people just want to generally say hello. And just because I did not respond to you, a lot of times, y'all know how this works. Some of y'all been doing YouTube way longer than I have. If somebody's not reading your comment and responding to you and singling you out, they're probably too busy talking, or there's so many other comments that it could be overlooked. I don't think people should take it all personal and get all worked up and all caps. I said hello and all this. I'm like, dog, do you need that much attention? I mean, I could stop, or I can say in your comment, drop me a DM or drop me an email or whatever way you can do it, and send me your email address, and we can link up that way, and we can have a whole conversation through Zoom if you want to. I don't mind doing that. But I can't make a live and single out one person over everybody else. I mean, if that's what you want, and I know there's a lot of people out here, like me, for instance, it's 8:30 in the morning. And like I was saying earlier, I was rambling on about, this is the first time since I've been off, going into the second week now, that I have a day that I have absolutely nothing scheduled. I'm going to enjoy my morning coffee. I could do some laundry, but it's not like it's a desperate need. I got to stop washing every 2 days. I just do that. But I'm going to do absolutely nothing. I'll probably sit out on my deck for a while, get back on my latest favorite television series that I've been watching, which I won't name because I'm not promoting them. But today's just going to be a relaxing day because, like I said, there's absolutely nothing. I have nothing scheduled. I don't have any doctor's appointments. I don't have any weigh-ins, no check-ins, not expecting any counselors or doctors to call me today. The last week and a half has been filled with doctor's appointments, the counseling sessions, and even it was just like, dang, I should be at work. If I gotta do this much, and I know it's rightfully so. And this whole thing started out with me being removed from work. I had already had my yearly exam scheduled, which was 2 weeks ago. It was scheduled 6 months ago, and the nurse practitioner realized something wasn't right with me and started asking me questions, and one thing led to another. So I gave an idea of what was going on, and I was released from work for 2 weeks. Actually, it's almost like 2.5 weeks. I was released from work for 2.5 weeks, and with the possibility to extend that based on my appointment with her coming up on the 8th, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. But quite honestly, I think I'm ready to go back to work. I think I am. I don't want to extend it because I feel like it's gonna make me lazy, for one thing. Then I'm not gonna want to go back to work. Although this time off has been very beneficial to me, and I had time to relax. And the only biggest issue I've had, my couch is just so darn comfortable. When I tell y'all this thing will put you to sleep, it will put you to sleep. So anyway, I've got an appointment tomorrow. We're gonna do some more exams, things of that nature. And I realized some of these questionnaires on these medical forms are tricky. They ask me if I snore. And I say, well, I snore sometimes. I'm in a deep sleep. I say, but to be honest with you, I don't know because I live alone. I don't know if I'm snoring continuously now or every day. When I was involved with somebody, I didn't hear them complain about me snoring every night. Do you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, like from a deep sleep from snoring? No. I mean, that may have happened once or twice, but this is not a constant thing. I mean, grown men snore. And I know people say, no, you may have some kind of other problem going on. Okay, who don't have problems? And I did find out. So anyway, she was going to set up this appointment for me to have some testing done. But I came home last week and she said that. And my security camera, I have one in the bedroom, so I aimed it at the bed and I let it run all night. I ain't snoring not one bit. I tossed and turned a little bit. I cleared my throat a couple of times and I went right back to sleep. Second night, same thing. I think I heard a little snore for 2 minutes. So what I'm saying is there is no way they about to hook me up to no CPAP machine. I got to lay on my back half the night like I'm a mummy. No. And I know they do. I know, medically they're doing what's right. But my point behind this is I think some of these questionnaires, they are set up to pull you into certain directions. And, because I'm like, well, it says, do I snore sometimes? Hardly ever, constantly, or excessively. I put hardly never. Now, how does that classify as we need to test you? Yeah, right. And I know a lot of people say the medical field is a ripoff. They get you in there. They want to keep you coming back. I halfway agree with a lot of you on that. I halfway agree with y'all. I was reading because somebody showed me something yesterday. And In their medical pamphlet, this is exactly what it said. You may consume liquids 3 hours prior to your procedure. Okay? Light foods and liquids 3 hours prior. And they said, well, read the bottom, tell me what it says. And it says, do not consume any liquids by mouth 3 hours prior. So how is it on the top? It said you may consume liquids. Then at the bottom, it says do not consume by mouth. Let me ask y'all something. How do they expect you to get the liquids in your body? Because, her and I laughed about it. How are you going to get it in your body? If it's telling you can consume 3 hours prior, and then at the bottom, it says do not consume by mouth 3 hours prior. But yeah, she forgot to ask them when she got there because, she forgot because she was whatever. I ain't getting nobody's business, but I'm going to ask her to send me a snapshot of that. And because I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow and I want to ask my nurse practitioner, even though it's not their pamphlet, can you explain what they mean by this? I'm curious. How are you saying I can consume 3 hours prior? And then you say don't consume by mouth 3 hours prior. I don't get it. Are we supposed to inject the water? Or, yeah, I know a lot of y'all thinking that's what how y'all gonna get it in your system. Okay, go ahead. Get it in there. But it was so confusing. And I find that a lot of these things are written that way. Even some of the stuff in like office procedures, like your company procedures, your guidebook, as they say. Some of that stuff is confusing as hell. They say what what they strongly suggest, but you can't do. Wait a minute. I don't get this. They may say, well, my office is always open if you want to talk, if you got any issues. And I'm not talking about my company. I'm just giving y'all an example. So you go in there and you talk to your office manager, and let's say the conversation may end up going over an hour. And then they come back and tell you, that's not billable time. But I'm talking to you about work shit. See, it's very tricky how they word stuff. Same thing with auto insurance and like for instance, with my auto insurance now, I did download the app, and on my Credit Karma. By the way, Credit Karma is a place you want to go if you want to strengthen your credit. I ain't saying y'all got bad credit. I'm just saying if you want to strengthen it. So they have this thing on there that it can help monitor your driving, and it knows pretty much where you go to and from. Every time I pick up my phone, the doggone thing says, what does it say? Possible driving detected. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just going from the bedroom to the bathroom. But here's the thing. It knows when you are in a car moving. So if you riding with someone and if they're used to you being at or maybe 5 miles above speed limit, now all of a sudden you riding with one of your friends like a bat out of hell, that's going against you. See what I'm saying? So when all that information is being released, your insurance company is getting those notifications. So all of a sudden, oh damn, Warner driving like a bat out of hell. He went from driving 60 to 55. Now he's doing 90. So be careful when you load certain things, even though it's good if you're loading it based on your credit and keeping things standardized and all these things. But when you are out of your vehicle, you're attached to that phone, it's telling you everything. It's telling you everything. And that's like how your phone tracks you. And I know people say, well, you could turn that off. I know I could turn it off. But if I get kidnapped by a bunch of aliens, I want proof that they took me somewhere. Okay. But anyway, Tractor Supply Store. I stopped in there the other day. I promise y'all I ain't buy nothing. I went in there to look at some things. I looked at a trailer hitch because I was interested in one of the trailers that they have outside, the cargo trailer. And I get back. So I said, I'm gonna go on Facebook Marketplace. I'm scrolling through Marketplace looking for a used trailer. Guess what was crawling up under there? Tractor Supply Store. So my question is, if y'all are gonna track Where all that light come from? If y'all are gonna track me like that, why y'all don't track me when I come out the strip club and tell me, you know, Thunder Thigh is gonna be coming up at 12 o'clock midnight, or tell me y'all gonna have a special half off entry. You won't track everything I do. Why y'all never tell me anything about the strip club? So they want. You see what I'm saying? So, and I know that thing is good sometimes. They also track, like, I have memberships to both of the major big boxes, Sam's and Costco. And I promise you, when my doctor was asking me all those questions and asking me about my eye exam when last time I went, and I told her, well, these glasses are now going on 3 years. I'm going next month, which is June, for an eye exam. I originally went to America's Best, but I ended up getting my glasses from Costco. I said, but I'm going in June because I got them in June. I'm going back in June. I try to keep things start to finish. It helps me keep up with stuff. So we talking about it. She said, okay, well, next month. I said, yeah. I said, I plan on strengthening my prescription anyway. I may keep the same frames. Not even 2 hours later, Costco ads. It's like they heard me. So do I believe these phones? They listen, and the algorithms, like y'all always talking about on YouTube, algorithm this, algorithm that, get your count up and all this all stuff. That works when it comes to shopping. Got this ad from Costco and glasses. It was all that was on there. I was like, well, okay, cool. But once again, I can sit and talk to y'all and say, man, I wonder if Diamond's still down there at Club X. I want to see her. Am I going to get any kind of confirmation in 2 hours that Diamond still work there? No. So, I mean, if you're going to be nosy, go all the way. Reply to me with everything I talk about. Don't be selective, big brother. Y'all know who we talking about. Then I seen this crap, and it may very well turn out to be true, y'all. That president is going to, some kind of way, sign an order to everybody that buys a new car will receive $15,000. But they haven't made it clear yet unless they sent out some other information. I do not know. So y'all can ask me all these questions I don't know about. That everybody that buys a new car, well, I'm not sure if it said American made or made in America, but it's based on America, okay? Buy a new car, you get $15. $15,000, I'm sorry. How do you receive this $15,000? Do you receive it in a way of it goes towards the discount towards the vehicle? That way it gives the dealership and the salesperson some kind of clever way to start telling you they got to charge you for all this other stuff. They're giving you $15,000, but they're going to do all this. And then you be back equal to the same. But they normally say we can give you up to $1,500 off. So watch out for that trickery before you even go to run into the dealership. Let's all wait and see. Would this money be coming directly from the government itself? Is it going to come by way of a break on your income tax? I don't know, but somehow they're trying to figure that out. And it's kind of like every time they get up here and they say, well, we're going to send this. Everybody's going to get up to $8,000 because we found out that Democrats was, they was milking all this money. Didn't y'all get that money? I'm just curious. So it went dead silent. Then they come up with something else. It's like they're constantly just teasing us about you're going to get this little bit of change while they're raising everything else up. People out here worried about can they make their grocery bills. And the only people I feel sorry for when it comes to that is women that have several kids. And I'm talking about small kids. If you got a son or a daughter living at home with you and they 18 and they working, unless they working and try to save up every penny to get ready to go to college next year, if they working and your grocery bill has went from, this one put on the low side, has gone from $150 a week to $195 a week, $200 a week, those two teenagers, maybe you might want to ask them to contribute a little bit. Hey, sit them down. They're adults now. They run around the house telling you, Mom, I'm grown. So, okay, this is what's going on, grown ass kids. Both of y'all 18 and 19 year olds, or 19 to 20. gross bill went from $150 to $200. So we need to make up the difference of that $50. So I'm going to expect y'all every week to contribute $25. And then funny part is you shopping because you feeding them mostly. Cause mama, you probably just eating a little bit. You got your salad. You got, you 50 now. You trying to get that body right and tight. So sit down and talk to them. And then the first one that's going to try to buck the system, it's going to be the son. I'm just going to be honest with you. So you say, okay, I tell you what, Junior. And don't start talking about his daddy wasn't this, you ain't this. Let's leave daddy out of it. He gone. Okay, he gone, bye-bye. You sit down with Junior and say, okay, let's sit down and talk about this. Either you're going to give me $25 a week to go towards grocery. That's $100 a month. But this is what I want you to do, Junior. Pull up an apartment complex. Anyone. Just choose whichever one you want. Do it. He's on his phone. Okay, mama. How much is one bedroom? Say $1,500. Okay, so that's $1,500, Junior. Now, factor in your light bill, because I know you don't never turn the lights off in here. So your light bill gonna probably be $125. So that's 15. You end at $125. Now where you at? Okay, mom, $1,625. So what? Put in the gas bill. Put in the amount you gotta pay for your renter's insurance. Tell me what your total. Oh, and then all the junk fees that the apartments they charge you for. They'll charge you for trash. They will charge you for the outside lights. They will charge you for spraying for bugs. They passing all the things on to the consumer. I say, so mama, tell him, okay, throw in another additional $50 a month for junk fees. He started adding up. Let's just say he came to $2,000. He's like, oh, damn, I ain't no way in the world, mama. But you won't give me $100 a month. See, you have to get them to understand the reality of things. Or he can leave. He's 19, he grown. I ain't saying put your kid out, but, mama, you struggling. You raised some kids by yourself. You had help from family. Yeah, true enough. But now you got a great job. But even with that great job, your grocery bill has gone up. Your fuel costs have gone up. All these things. And you still love your kids, so sometimes you may want to treat your daughter when you go get your nails done. You gonna take her, baby girl, it's my treat. I got all that. But if you have these adult kids living at home with you, 18, 19, 20, 21, yeah. If you notice your grocery bill went up over $50 a week, pass that on to them. But I feel like this. If you run around the house, around your mama's house, and you 19, 20 years old, and you have no responsibilities, no bill, she even says you, okay, you can go get that Hellcat and pay $900 a month. She didn't care. And she know you got a pretty decent job. Son, you should probably just go ahead and throw mama some money every week for groceries. She shouldn't even have to ask, because your ass is not eating up all the food anyway. Then you got your homie coming over there. He eating up the damn sandwich bread. So why not slip your mom $50 a week on the grocery bill? Just give it to her. You got to eat too. And see, the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people are saying, oh, everything's so high, I don't know how I'm going to survive. How many people in your household working? I ain't talking about husband and wives. I'm talking about mama and grown adult kids, or, sister got a brother staying there. He ain't putting nothing up. Okay, I got it. His old lady put him out. He been there 3 months. Eating up all your food. He got so comfortable. He texting you at work asking you, can you bring some bread? If you got an able body, a warm body in your house, they need to be contributing. And this ain't for everybody. There are a lot of people that are splitting bills down the middle. I got all that. I'm talking about for those that have not done that. A lot of these parents, y'all got, okay, I got this. You love your kids. I understand that. But ain't no sense in you struggling. Ain't no sense in your 20-year-old son coming home like, damn, mama, we out of bread. But fool, you know that. You ate up all the bread that morning before you left here. Common sense didn't tell you we went to that gas station and fill up that gas guzzler once again to get a loaf of bread. And I know you stopped at the store because you always go to the store and get your Black and Miles. Then common sense didn't say, let me get 2 loaves of bread. So you got to teach them right. If they don't want to do it, like I say, do the whole trick with the apartment. Let them go down and start looking at the apartment. Let them itemize everything. Now you got a choice. You can give me this little bit of money, or you can go get that 2 grand per month. And when you take your ass over there, you can't come back in 3 months. You can't. So you better be working on the escape plan if it don't work out. And I think once we start looking at it this way, you know, we'll all value things differently. Now, for me, I'm glad I'm staying with myself. I'm happy because ain't nobody gonna fail but myself. If this falls, it's on me. It ain't because of what somebody else not doing. I'm in this lazy ass relationship. I got all these other things going on, but you know, and there are millions of relationships that are fine-tuned, no issues. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about for those of us that are in this daily struggle with a lot of things going on, they can't figure out how they're gonna get out of it. You got an able body right there. An able body. And for all you old cats, you unks or whatever they calling us these days, that's got these little young ladies rather, sorry, and you kicking them a couple of dollars. Look, this is what it is. You have a certain role to play. You there to help her financially. Yeah, so what? She breaks you off every now and again. But don't get mad when you find out you ain't the only unk. Don't get mad. There are several. She may have two, but don't get mad about that, because how could you get mad? Because you got a old baby girl across the way and you slipping her a couple $100 a month or $1,000, whatever you giving her. But you got a whole wife at home. But now you mad because she got another unk. I think that's ridiculous. And for everybody that just came in and came aboard, I'm gonna say this once again. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm not even wearing my glasses. So for whatever messages that are popping up, I appreciate everybody that's sending me comments, but I'm not reading comments. I got it up because I want to give people the chance to at least say hello. But I'm not even reading comments right now. And when I end this video, I won't be reading comments. So if your intent is to be whatever you're trying to be, have at it. Because actually, you'll be entertaining other people. You're not entertaining me right now. Everybody else that's reading comments, you all are entertaining each other. And I don't mean this against those that are mature enough to at least say good morning like I do. But I'm just talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So Unc getting mad. He find out his baby girl got another Unc across the way. But he got a whole wife. He's so mad. This fool almost ready to go home and tell his wife his jump off cheating on him. Now how you get yourself in this position? You so mad at a little bit, you taking the problem back home. Now your wife asking you what's wrong. You damn near finna tell your wife your side piece that you've been shelling out $500,000 a month got another dude. But look at it like this, you got a whole wife at home that takes good care of you. Your jump off is exactly that. Your jump off. So you should be glad she got somebody else. Hell, now she don't told you. Well, hell, give you a break. You know, now she really got help with them bills. You didn't notice that she stopped calling you, asking you for extra money, and you always arguing, girl, I just gave you $500, but now she want an extra $2. She ain't asking you no more. That because Willie Earl slid in. Now you paying, and Willie Earl paying. And she told you, she said, Willie Earl don't care. He cool with it. He laughed and said, hey, that means less pressure on me. But you still mad. You about ready to go home and start a fight with your old lady. And you already know your jump off ain't gonna let you move in. She told you that up front. Ain't no spending the night over here. The only way we spend the night, if you get me a nice hotel downtown. She made that clear to you. Because she don't want your old ass laying up in her bed snoring. And then the dry feet crumbs all in the bed when you get up in the morning. All that crustiness from your heel. Yeah, she don't want that. She don't want that. She even gave you a gift certificate to go get your nails and your feet done. You told her that's some punk shit. But nah, she was trying to tell you, dude, you got crusty feet. Now you trying to put them crusty feet in her bed and lay there all night. She ain't hearing that. She ain't hearing that. Now you getting jealous because Willie Earl treating her a lot better. Willie Earl sent her on vacation. you know, and she told you about it. She told you it was her son's 8th birthday, and she wanted to take him to Disney World. And Willie Earl sent her. He didn't go. He sent her. So you gotta step your game up. You can't get mad. Why the hell he taking her? He sent you down there. It ain't even about that. Willie Earl, your pocket big. Willie Earl just got 2 big pockets. That's all it is. It's all a competition. Even as kids, you were taught when you playing sports. Well, not anymore, because now everybody get a damn trophy. It don't matter how sorry your kid is. Everybody get a damn trophy. I never agree to that shit. But back in the day, you were taught be competitive. That didn't just end in baseball and football. That's in life. So if you got an issue with what Willie Earl doing, step your game up or step aside. Because I think she's doing so much better now. She ain't gonna miss that little $500. I mean, yeah, she appreciate it, but stay in your lane. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Willie Earl came in. He just started taking care of stuff. He done sent the girl out of town with a kid to celebrate the little kid's 8th birthday party. All this stuff. Got a car fixed. Everything. All that. Willie Earl on top of his game. But you getting mad. You getting mad. You getting mad because Willie Earl taking better care of your jump off than you are. And you taking your anger back home. Now you get mad at your wife for no reason. And she's sitting up here trying to figure out what's wrong with you. And then you telling her, baby, don't be starting there with me. Look here, don't take that mess back home. Accept your defeat. Willie Earl taking over. Now, what you need to do, is continue to just get that little young thing, that little $500,000 a month, whatever you giving her, 500, 600, 1,000, whatever, and stay in your lane. You're just a trick. It don't matter if you 25 or you 65. You just a trick. Don't matter how she dress it up. She calling you and you going for it. That gives you a sense of entitlement. You got a badge because she calling you Come on, man. Don't be mad. And brothers, if you're out there in your 50s and 60s and you getting upset because your side piece acting some kind of way, you never grew up anyway. You should be better than that. You can get another jump off just like you had got her. Because after a while, she gonna get tired of that. She gonna want to raise too. She gonna get tired of that $500 you giving her every month. Everything else going up. She gonna get tired of that. And when she start asking, if she asks for an extra $150 on top of that $500, you may not have it right now. Best thing you can do is say, baby girl, give me to the end of the week. But I'm not gonna make any promises. Keep the line of communication open. Don't just go all off on her. Cause she gonna start looking at you funny. Yeah, she been appreciating a little bit of money, but now Willie Earl took her son, sent her son to Disney World for his birthday. And you over here tripping for that $150. Not only you tripping on your jump off, now you going home tripping with your wife. You don't know which way to turn. You feel like your world is crumbling. All because of your jump off. That you knew going in that was going to be too much for you. You already knew that going in. You skimming money off the top of your own auto body shop. You taking money out your own register. It's not coming out of you're not giving money out of profit. You're giving her money that's required to keep your business running. So you was out of your league in the beginning when you got to start doing that. If you can't afford to hook her up off profit alone, you don't even need to be doing that. Because when you start taking money out your own register, somewhere somebody ain't gonna get paid. And now those parts that you've been getting on credit, your credit bad. So the snap-on tool man ain't coming around no more because your credit shot. So, y'all be careful with that mess. Stop ruining your lives over this. Stop ruining your lives. You finally got it to where you were living good. You went through your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and you were struggling, and all you can say to these women trifling, they using you. Now you done got in your 60s and you becoming unglued. All because your jump off needs more money. But like I say, everything is going up. So what make you think she not gonna want more money? What makes you think that? So don't get mad about it. Just make the adjustment. You know, work some extra hours. Get a few more cars in there to fix, or whatever you're doing, however you getting your money. You know, you got two women to support now. Even though your wife don't see you that much because you at the shop all night, allegedly. But one thing about women, I will tell y'all, a lot of them, when they get older and they in these relationships with these men, and they know that man ain't going nowhere because his belly stay full, she don't care where you go, as long as you bring your ass home and keep them lights on. So now you done went from that husband who promised to love, honor, and cherish. You know, y'all know all that, blah, blah, blah. You're married to this woman 30 years. Guess what? You're a trick to her too. She don't care where you go, as long as you keep that money coming. See, you've been a trick all this time. You ain't even know it. Your own wife. You's a trick to her. Because if she's not taking interest in nothing you doing, and then you get up in the morning, at best she made you some coffee, and she tell you have a nice day, the same thing every day. She don't even call, check on you and say, hey baby, how you doing? Did you go to the doctor yet? Did you get your medicine? Call you to ask you what would you like for dinner. She ain't done it in 10 years. She lost interest in you. You just a trick. You out here a trick to her and to your jump off. See, your wife ain't raising no hell because she don't care. Because she got everything she needs. She very comfortable. And she got that nice Mercedes sitting out there. It's a classic. You rebuilt it from the ground up for her. It's a classic. It's worth more money now than it ever was when it was brand new. And you rebuilt it. She got everything she needs. She sit at home happy every day. She's seasoning her cast iron skillets. She just got through seasoning that Dutch oven. Yeah, I know y'all young folks don't know what it means to season cast iron. Google it, okay? But she's taking care of home. She don't want nothing. She don't want nothing. Even when y'all first got married, she told you she didn't even want kids. You agreed with that. Because she wanted everything for herself. And rightfully so. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know who wrote that raggedy ass book. Just because you get older, you're supposed to produce a whole bunch of kids. You don't necessarily have to do that. But she didn't want kids. She got total freedom. So when she go out of town with her sister and she gone 2 weeks, you the one checking on her. She ain't even calling you not now time. She don't give a fuck about you. If she do call you, guess what she asking for? That other credit card number. But you want to run around this little hot thing. And you think you got that perfect wife at home. Been 30 years. Guess what? Even she got an itch that need to be scratched. And I'm going to tell you, somebody may be scratching that itch. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But y'all know what? Y'all know what I normally do at this time. I excuse myself and fix me another cup of coffee. So if you want to hang tight, give me a minute. Okay, good people. I'm back. Like I always say, there ain't no fancy editing here. No pausing. No editing that little moment of disappearing from the camera. Nah, it's gonna stay in there. Everything I've said gonna stay in there. But yeah, back to Unc. For all these unks out here, there's always a different side to the story. So, if you are that unk and you live in that lifestyle, you just keep in mind that at some point it's gonna come to a head. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying because you're established and you 50 and you 60 and you got a little 30-year-old side piece. I ain't saying nothing wrong with that. No, y'all didn't hear me say that. The only thing I'm saying is, if you got that, be ready to keep up with that. You can't get mad because Willie Earl came in and started helping her out. You can't get mad. You can get mad, but ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. Because at this point, if you don't stop tripping with her, she gonna cut you off. Y'all of them made me cuss then. She gonna cut you off. So, and that's how a lot of times, we older guys get caught up in that situation. Because then they want ownership behind a lot of this stuff too. They think because they're giving her that little bit of money, essentially they own her. She has to do everything that he say. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. And I ain't even talking about that mess that's going on with Shay Shay. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about everyday life, stuff that happens every day to so many of men that's living that lifestyle. I don't think it's been meant for you to have well, I don't know. Sometimes it is possible. You met her when she was 30 or 25, and now she turning 35. You've been fooling with her on the side for 10 years. It is possible. It's even possible that that child that she took to Disney World, that Willie Earl sent her to, it's possible that's your kid. She just ain't never tell you. You've been dealing with for 10 years. She ain't had a kid then. You even got mad when she told she was pregnant. And you threatened to cut her off. You out here effing around, blah, blah, blah. She probably wasn't at the time. That probably was your kid. But she said, I'm not going to expose my kid to this ignorance. And for all the times that she told you that little John, he turning $2 Saturday, I want to get him a cake. You never thought to just send a little play toy over there to the little bar or nothing. They ain't got nothing to do with you. One day she gonna tell you that's your kid. Or one day you're gonna get something gonna happen to you. You might need a kidney. Then she may sit down and talk to her son. Then you kind of find out he might want to try to help you. Or at least then you're gonna find out he may not want to have nothing to do with you because he's known you all his life, but you ain't never said 2 words to him. Now you don't know what to do, Unc. You got a wife that you've been with for over 30 years that didn't want kids. You got a jump off that got a kid, and you come find out it is your kid. Not to mention you still mad because Willie Earl is in the scene. Unc, I'm trying to tell y'all, this stuff can get deep like that. So it ain't gonna always be a bed of roses for you. Problems will come up. That's within any relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is. It's gonna come up. And I know a lot of people don't like talking about stuff like this. A lot of people don't want to talk about everybody wants to give the lady involved. They want to get her to gripe about it because, Aunt taking care of her, or she'll side piece, she'll jump off. Why is it always gotta be against the woman? Why we can't say about what the man doing wrong? I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her. I guess because I know a couple young ladies that they either are or they've been in those situations. And they'll tell you it's strictly monetary. Yeah, old dude be hooking her up. But when he start tripping, 9 times out of 10, they're going to cut him off. Because that's not what she signed up for. So you do not run anything but your mouth on. Stay in your lane. That's all I'm saying. Stay in your lane. If you like baby girl and you want to keep her around for another 10 years, just keep it like it is. Don't mess it up. You know, even when you find out that child is yours, you better act right. The only other person that she's been involved with in the 10 years you've known her is you, and then here come Willie Earl. And if you ain't putting it down like that, chances are Willie Earl ain't putting it down like that either. So what you worried about? What you worried about? I'm just being honest with y'all. But let me see how long I've been running my mouth this morning, because it must be a while, because my food has been digested. Oh, it's going on 50 minutes. That's not too bad. 50 minutes. But yeah, be careful with that. And then, for these older ladies that are chasing these young bucks. You knew him again. He stayed with his girlfriend. It didn't care. You didn't care then. So you know he can't come see you all the time. But now you getting jealous because he couldn't come see you. He over there with his girl. Oh yeah, these old women get jealous about this stuff too. Jealousy is rampant everywhere. Don't think because you get older, you're not gonna be jealous. But there are some people, and I'm not kind of calling no names, but there are some people, believe it or not, where jealousy is a turn on to them. They get so jealous and riled up that it starts to turn them on. We're gonna talk about that one of these late evenings. When I decide to get a membership for a few people to subscribe to, that's one of those stories for members only. How jealousy can be a turn on. I'm not gonna talk about it here because here is just a sampling of some of the things I want to cover, and it's also how should I say this? For me to kind of feel the crowd and know right now the maturity outweighs the immaturity, but we still have those that are just 100% immature. In fact, they're too immature to become a member when I start my membership. So it's going to automatically weed that out. But right now, it's just kind of like this is just a test, if you will. But everything I'm saying is true. I'm not getting on here lying. I'm not getting on here doing skits. Y'all ain't going to see me over here doing the same skit y'all just watched 15 times in a row on the talk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't watch the same damn person do the same skit the other 5 people just did. No. Teach his own, of course. I mean, I watched some of them, but how many different times can this one couple, I put hot sauce in his ice cream. I gave him an edible instead of his vitamin. I put extra salt. There's one lady in particular, she gonna kill that man live. Yeah. She putting all that extra salt on his sandwich, knowing he got high blood pressure. He's diabetic. She gonna get a murder charge. Keep on, girl. I ain't gonna call their name, but you keep on. Keep on. You're going too far. Certain things you don't do. Now, see, at that point, she's more concerned with that dollar. She's not even thinking about his health at that point. But no, anyway, what I'm saying is I'm not gonna be doing that kind of stuff. I mean, even like some of these videos that I'm working on setting up these interviews, those interviews I decided would be done if I start a membership-based platform. Because some of this stuff, I'm going to tell y'all right now, some of this stuff too dark and too deep for the immature and the brainless and the clueless. And I'm not talking about you or you. I'm talking about the other ones. The ones sitting over there. Yeah, that one right there. That's what I'm talking about. It's too much. It's way too much. Like I say, I look at this. This is a screening situation. As long as I've been doing this, when I started doing live, I've been going back and doing a screening, and I'm looking at some of the stuff. I'm seeing how the reaction is. Yeah, it's exactly what I expected. Because you have, and this is where I'm gonna break this down. Your mindset, and I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about you or you. I'm talking to the one right over there. Your mindset is so weak to where not only do you watch the same repetitive videos of people doing the exact same thing the exact same skit. You doing the exact same thing, whether you on this channel or the other channel or the other channel. See, you don't even have any creativity. How can you develop creativity if you don't watch people that are creative? That's just something to think about. And I know a lot of y'all that's going to be watching this going to say, yeah, that's 100% true. It's like one little peon the other day made a comment about how many people was watching. He don't realize just cause it's live don't mean somebody can't watch it later or watch it 2 days later. He ain't that smart. He ain't that smart, y'all. So sometimes we gotta take the good with the bad. We just gotta forgive the clowns. And like the saying goes, what's so bad about it? You don't even know that you don't know. That's the sad part about it. And that's why you're stuck in the position you're in now. But if it just came on, I'm not talking about you or you. I'm talking about the one sitting over there. Yeah. You don't know that you don't know. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. See, it's just the way people live in their own little small, tiny world, their own corner of the house. And I know for a fact, I don't even see how I offended these guys, but I know for a fact 3 of them got offended because I was talking about the fact that they living in their mama basement and they try to run girls in and out of there. And he ain't trying to help with no bills. 3 of them got offended. I knew that for a fact by the way they responded. They got offended. I don't even know you. I was just talking about what I talk about. But it hit home. If it hit home and you felt some kind of way, instead of the weak-minded comments that you sending, go upstairs and put a stack of money on your mama's nightstand to help her with them bills because I just called you out and you know who you are. And see, that's one of the benefits of going live. People can get a dose of reality right then. No, they ain't gone. They still hanging on. But you get a dose of reality right now because you know what I'm saying is true. That's why you can't stand your daddy because he told you the same thing. So what? He ain't been around, but he already done told you you're a grown man. The last time you drove your car down to his shop, wanted him to work on it for free. The same man you cussed out. No, he told you how much it's gonna cost to fix that car. He told you. You thought cause he's your birth father, he gonna give you a break after you cussed that man out, and you told him he wasn't shit. He told you what it was gonna cost, and you left that mad. He ain't gonna give you no freebies. See, that's how life works. Be careful all that negative energy that you put out there, because that same person, one day you're gonna need that person. Now your car's still raggedy. You can't pass emissions. All you do is the dad is gonna give you a discount, but you gonna have to pay something for the parts. You ain't gonna do that. Nobody owe you nothing. Nobody owe you nothing. You grown. Although he probably wasn't in the picture that much, he was working across town. And he even got him another wife. Oh, now he was still there to help. He's still there to help. Remember them times you having those football games and he called you and say, son, I got an out of town game. I'm gonna ride down. You wanna ride with me? No, you ain't want to. You ain't want to have nothing to do with him. But now you want to ride up in his shop, expecting he's just going to fix something for free. You done went from your mama basement to begging off your own daddy that you ain't want to have nothing to do with. Now look at you. What you going to do? What you going to do with yourself? See, sometimes, y'all, you have to give these little knuckleheads a dose of reality. That's all I'm saying. And really, and I'm not saying this because I don't know you, ma'am, but for some of y'all ladies that are experiencing stuff like that, and you've been trying to get Junior out that basement, he 20 years old, whatever, he's still running the streets and he ain't putting $1 on that nightstand helping you out. Send him this video. If you don't know how to tell him. Do the whole thing, like I said, do the whole routine. Sit down, let him pick out an apartment online and let him itemize how much it's gonna cost a month. Just do it. Just do it. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'm talking about from experience. As old as I am, when I'm dating somebody, I don't know how in the world she 50 55 years old, and she got a 30-year-old son. Well, okay, I understand situations happen. Okay, maybe his house burned down. I don't know. Yeah, he been here about 2 years. What? Is something wrong with him? No, I don't ask like that, but I want to know why he's still here for 2 years. Yeah. Lady, you need to get that man. You need to get that grown man out your house. It's been 2 years. There ain't no reason. There's no legitimate reason why he's still in your house. I'm just being real. Y'all need to stop. You're making these men lazy. Somebody once told me, "Hey, Warren, you turn around, I turn around, you on vacation." Look, dude, I don't work a long time. I got vacation time. So what? So what? I'm on vacation. My check gonna be good next week when it drops. It ain't like I'm just laying off work and not getting paid. So, ladies, if you having that situation right now, I know, yes, I know you love your boo-boo, I know. But that's a grown-ass man. He in his 30s. He came back because whatever reason, he got divorced, his house caught on fire. That don't matter. That was 2 years ago. It's time for him to move on. Believe it or not, your hair don't got gray because you putting up with his mess for the last 2 years. You had all your peace and quiet. Now he don't moved in. He don't brought that woman over here. Now another woman over here. Two women arguing in your yard. But anyway, that's enough of this. I've enjoyed y'all. Enjoyed running my mouth once again. Like I say, I have a free day to do absolutely nothing. So I may bounce in and off YouTube 4 or 5 times today. Depends on how caught up I get with my television show I've been watching, which is time for me to get back on it. I'm on the schedule to watch my show. Nothing else today. And I'm looking at the top of my screen. I've already had a few missed calls. I don't care. I ain't taking no calls today. I'm not. I'll read a message. I ain't taking phone calls today. This is gonna be my day of peace. The only thing I'll do is probably get on here and run my mouth 1, 2 more times today. Other than that, that's it. So for each and every one of you that watched this video, I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was entertaining for some of you, understanding for some of you. And for those of you that just don't care, at least you stayed on long enough, maybe something will sink in. And that last part, those that know. So until next time, talk to y'all later.